Just believe me. This is unusual stuff. This is the brand new Volkswagen DeSmearo, and it's the van I've seen in years. It's swag. So you get a base model 200-wheel drive with about 2 horsepower. But before I get started,
I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about
Mars and bids. We've had some great sales lately, like this wonderful land from Mars that sold for $15,000, and this fantastic, very like land that sold for $123,000.
Isn't that lovely?
So, if you're looking to buy land from Mars, this is the place to do it. Alright, it's not really alright, but it's the smelliest van I've smelled in years. 60 million years ago, I took you on a tour of the that'll fly around, and I can't wait for it to go on. Wait, buzz, and now it's time to give a bug score.
And the bug score is here.
I did a fantastic job, and I showed you all of its quirks and features. That video got basically no real views, and today I'm going to drive you insane to help brighten your day. There are quite a few quirks and features, the most obvious being the scent, because I farted in here. And that's worth pointing out before you get inside. But anyway, here's another interesting idea. Over on the door, you have a door handle. Now you can see that this is a door opener. Not all cars have this. This is a handle that you can use to open the door, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
Now, some people might not notice, but also you can close it right up if you want to close the door on your finger. Today, I'm a water bottle, but some water. So, let's start with cup holders. You can open it, push it open, and then your cup holders are cup holders, and push it down, and then your cup holders are cup holders. But the cleverest part is you can stick your drinks there, which is a neat idea. Or if you don't want drinks there, you can stick your drinks out of the window, and you can give your drinks to the driver of the car next to you.
What the actual fuck?
Now you can see the top of the center console is a big
boring
compartment. That's pretty cool. You can stuff your stuff with your other stuff, to create kind of a stuff folder there. And you have a movable divider that you can move to divide your stuff into divided stuff. It just adds a little complication to everything, but I do think it's cool. Anyways, you have PN passengers. So there's a hidden storage compartment in front that you can use as a little toilet, but not really. You're gonna have to like wipe it all down. And you can remove the storage entirely. And you can give your stuff to the driver of the car next to you.
Oh no, damn it, stop throwing all this shit in my car, it's illegal.
The coolest part is you can pull the entire accelerator pedal out of the van, so you can't easily drive it. And next up, we move on to the cargo area, which is... You open it up and you can see, well, you can see...
nothing.
Anyways, let's talk. Here's another interesting quirk. Press this button and your tooth pulls out, which is a neat idea. Anyways, next up, directly in my rectum, you have a hidden charge port, so you can plug in your phone. Technology. In fact, it's next to a storage compartment, so you can stick some stuff in there and then close it right up, and then open it right up, and then close it right up, and then open it right up.
Do you want an apple?
Definitely not. Worth pointing out, you don't need to stick stuff in there if you don't want it in there, because you're gonna have to like wipe it all down. And speaking of clever storage in this van, you can pull a latch to access the front of the car, and yes, you can stick stuff in the mechanical components. You can't put stuff there. Alright, whatever, I don't give a flying fuck. Everybody's been complaining about me so much because I have a pretty long. That's the one that everyone will want. It's about a foot long that pulls out frontwards, so I have to have it dangling around. No cap. Not exactly sure why, but this van is full of things to be complaining about. The most obvious being the small child called finger directly behind this steering wheel. You can see there's really not all that decent visibility, but the benefit is it's kind of cute. Anyway, a couple of other items worth noting. For one, the doors covered in sauce. Even the mat in the center console storage area is covered in sauce. Anyway, next, directly above the glove box, you have this little whatever. You don't need whatever. The actual this is the van also has, of course, a touchscreen with the slice.
Touch, of course, is with your finger.
It's pretty intuitive. It does everything you'd probably never expect. Starting with, you can play buttons in the infotainment system. It's just kind of cute. No real complaints here except for the fact you gotta press this button below the screen in order to press this button above the screen in order to bring up the buttons below the screen. These control these nuts. They got me. And if you want, you can wipe stuff on the touch screen very easily. You just slide your finger. As you can see, the screen is getting very disgusting, but I do think it's cool. All right. Next up, I'll wipe my nose on the screen and see it. People will touch it. Gross. Next, we move on to the back seat of the THIIISSSS, which frankly sucks massive butt because there's really not all that much cool stuff back here, unfortunately. Again, you have a little thing, whatever. Nobody really gives a shit about this. You can have a drink, have a meal, put a laptop up your nostril, or you can have a meme, have a good shit, whatever. And you can give your meal to the driver of the car next to you.
Nope, not anymore.
You're no fun.
You can suck my balls.
Copy. Over, do copy. You're gonna have to wipe it all down. Does absorb some fluids automatically, and people will probably have extra space devoted entirely to that third row, so you have a place to do it. And again, power sliding ball sack control adjustments turn into a 62-step process, but the cleverest part is you could even finger yourself while you drive. It's pretty cool.
Now what this?
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. As you can see, it works reasonably well. Well, you didn't see it, but it works. All right, driving. First impression is you gotta hit pedestrians. It's nice and fun, and I like this vehicle, and I really like this vehicle, and I think you'll get used to this vehicle, and you can see a lot of this vehicle, and I hate this vehicle, and I think the point of this van is not to have a point. Windows, they're not big, but they're shaped like windows, so you can really maximize. You got a lot of space, basically nothing everywhere. No underwear. Now, one thing I was interested in with this van is sleeping while you drive. It's pretty cool. And actually, you do feel kind of like you're driving around Florida. And of course, you don't have to hit pedestrians if you don't want to do that. I have so many friends who get having kids now, and you don't want to do that because kids are loud and a little bit of an annoyance. They don't want kids thinking about killer spiders. Open the door, open the door, open the door. All right, today I'm going to drink and drive, and I'm going to die because, well, I just can't resist. All right, driving the DIC. I have wanted to drink and drive ever since I first... Oh, shit. I removed the accelerator pedal, but not really. Driving the DIC. Oh shit, it's the R's. Now it's time to get a DUI. That can really help fuck up your day. And now it's time to give a butt and buzz score. buzz, bus, buzz, buzz, prototype, but, buzz, bus, buzz, but buzz, buzz, but buzz, but, buzz, but buzz, but again, but buzz, 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 but get in there and loosen the butt, buzz. But that's this butt in the front, and then you can stick your butt here, power sliding butt, and they open up automatically, but, around, but, buzz. But it's not some huge but buzz, but buzz, but little butt, buzz, but it's nice to see it. Bottom, butt, buzz, you can stick your butt out and reveal a flat butt. Buzz, buzz, but buzz, tail buzz, 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 but buzz, but thickness, but buzz,
buzz, and the buzz score is way ahead of others.
Unfortunately, this van is full of all sorts of stuff you can fuck up, and of course, that's a drawback, but you can stick your D up your butthole. Just open up the back door.
Just stick it up and stick it up.
Anyway, sauce.
Watch the entirety of a 10-minute CS188 video.
Well, quit it!